you are unique and we appreciate your help, says Joe. Joe Razzo. Hey, thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Ramesh is a really good question. Listen to this one about expired listings. I have been working with expires that are more than 6 months old. I go to the MLS to make sure they are not listed every week before contacting them. This consumes a lot of my time. Is there a more efficient way to do this? Yes, Ramesh. First of all, kudos for doing it. You're out there hustling, so even if you do it the old-fashioned manual way, it's better than sitting on your ass hoping that your next blog post will get you a bunch of listings. It ain't, and you already know that. That's why you don't waste your time on bullshit like that. So now, with that being said, there are a couple of things I'm going to give you real quick. Check out different systems. Many systems will cross-check the MLS. Like I know Espresso will cross-check old expireds. And many other services that provide this data will reference them for you and let you know and flag those that have been relisted that should expedite it. The second thing you absolutely must do immediately is hire an assistant. Essential. And I'm just as guilty. I waited too long to expand my staff, and it cost me not just money, but good customer service. And if you have been affected by it, then I apologize. We're working on it. Like I said, we hired a new person yesterday. She's awesome. Her name is Kat. You're going to be interacting with her. If you call us, she must most likely get on the phone with you. She's super cool. So I'm stoked that we're expanding. Roseanne is staying, of course. We still have Yulia, of course, Hannah pitching in, and my kids pitching in, and I'm here, of course. You must do the same. You cannot be frugal with your time while doing stuff you should not be doing. Like, does it need to be cross-referenced? Yeah, probably. It's a good idea. So you're not soliciting other people's listing and wasting time with properties that have been relisted. Just not by you. So even if it means to hire a virtual assistant, I'm not a huge fan, but it's better than nothing. Even a virtual assistant can prepare a list of people that should be on your first contact plus follow-up. You know what I mean? So just like if you run any other business, a bookstore, a restaurant, a coffee shop, anything where you're going to need some help, it's the same with real estate. Unless you want to make $50,000 a year, then you don't need one. But you understand what I'm saying? Your focus needs to be generating leads, prospecting, following up with people, connecting with your sphere of influence, presenting offers, doing listing presentation, studying market, learning new stuff, educating yourself, watching your competition, doing research on your competition. Like, do you know who your 5 biggest competitors are? 5 agents who are your biggest competitors, not the most successful agents, but agents you compete with most. Do you know who they are? Not just Ramesh, but everybody else. Do you know why they take more listings than you? What is the #1 reason people list with them and not with you? Here is the worst answer you can have. I don't know. That's a bad situation to be in. Because now you're competing against somebody and you don't know why they're winning. Where do you need to fix? What is their strength that they play on? What is your weakness that they exploit? That's time well spent. Knowing the answers to that will bring you more dollars here. Why do you get beat? By your competition. And can you do something about it? In most cases, yes, you can. Does it make sense? So you got to do a little research. I'll give you an example. As you know, in June, we're rolling out the Real Estate Video Plus program. I spent 3 months doing a lot of research. Who's teaching real estate video? What's good about it? What's not good about it? What is it that you guys would find the most helpful? What would get you the dollars the fastest using this tool? What can I provide that nobody else can teach you? And it took me 3 months to organize in this giant mind map until I had the answers. There are other programs out there that will teach you video. I'm not the only one. But I guarantee you there is not a single program out there that will teach you the stuff I will teach you that will get you the dollars at the end. Using nothing but this smartphone. Nobody else will teach you that stuff. And I know that because we bought every single possible program out there. I have every book. Not to mention I've been doing video for the last 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the analogy? You must have the same confidence knowing who your competition and why are they winning and what do you have to do about it. Natasha says, I visited a couple of expireds last week. A couple were just like, no, we're not selling. That's where I got stuck. And that's a good place to be stuck, Natasha, because there are only 2 reasons why they're saying it. One of 2. There are only 2. There's no other reason why they're selling, no, we're not selling. One reason is they don't have a CDE. They just don't want to sell. They don't have a big problem. Selling and moving somewhere else doesn't excite them, or staying in the property doesn't scare them. It's not a problem. Because if they don't have a pool, we really want that beautiful house on the golf course in Florida. I would love to smell the ocean when I wake up. I'd love to be close to my family. If they don't have any of that, if they don't desire, we want to have that big 2-story house, finally have enough room so every kid has their own room. Or I'd love to be closer to my work, or whatever other else drives them to pull. If they don't have that, or if they don't have a push, we hate our neighbors. This is the worst neighborhood. Everybody's in a basket weaving. We hate that. I don't know where that came from. Or the house is so small, we can't even lay down sleeping. We sleep standing up. You know? If there is no problem, or if there is no pull, or a combination of the two, you don't have a prospect. So that's the first possibility. And sometimes that's the case. The second problem, maybe, is your strong first impression sucked. They want to sell, they have a core driving emotion, but they sure as hell don't trust you. You tripped their wire, something got tripped, where they say, nope, we're not talking to any salespeople. They want to move, but they know that the fastest way to get rid of all the agents, maybe not just you, is to just say, we don't want to sell. But I tell you what hurts. A month later, you're going to drive by that house, and there'll be a competitor's for sale sign there, and you go, fuck me. Look at that. And they said they don't want to move. So you got to be very careful distinguishing which one it is. My bet is, most of the time, the problem is here. Because if somebody really goes through the trouble signing the paperwork, interviewing agents, putting the house on the market, getting it clean, doing the repairs and all that, there's a pretty good chance they want to be somewhere else for whatever reason. Don't you agree? So how do you fix it? Same thing. Talk to more people. Get good at talking to people. And bring on A game. Because if the first 4 seconds suck, the rest, you can salvage it. So you need to be very honest with yourself. What can I do better? What can I do about my approach better? And sometimes, no matter how strong your first impression is, how good all this is, they still give you, no, we don't want to sell. You need to kick in with a good follow-up and build and nurture that relationship and connection with them. And I tell you why that's important. Very often, at the first point, when the house doesn't sell, they're all frustrated and disappointed, and they're like, fuck, this just, we're going to stay. And then they see Mary and Joe down the street listed their house. And then they get a flyer like this one or a postcard like this one. Oh, look at that, honey. 4 homes sold in the last 30 days. What the fuck? And they start thinking about it. And then the second stage is they start paying attention to not only that the homes are selling, but who's sending them the message. See, here's the cool thing. Market updates like Mike sends and a bunch of others, these are not all his sales and listings, and that's cool. He's very open about it. There's a disclaimer. But he's linking to the messenger. Brilliant. You understand? So through the follow-up, suddenly that seller who first said, no, we're not selling, goes, check that out. And they listed for how much? You're fucking kidding me. Ha! And now the thought is inside. Little by little, becoming more cautious about it. They start paying attention to open houses. They start seeing signs. They start looking into replacing the carpet because the last agent suggested it. They kicked them in the ass for that. And now they're thinking, yeah, maybe it does need to be replaced. I mean, after all, it was here before World War I. So maybe those holes really don't make the best first impression. You get me? And then little by little, they start shifting. They start thawing out. They start warming up to the idea of maybe it's time to go. Maybe that condo in Florida we always wanted is attainable. Maybe we can pull this off. And then your persistent follow-up, good marketing, good frequency, and conversations, start building the connection you need. Start building the trust you need. And once you have that, then it's just a matter of figuring out what is their CDE, what is their urgency, how intense are those emotions. Because you know what they say, the mind will only validate and justify what the heart has already decided. You bring enough logic saying, hey, look, other people are selling, homes are moving, you're going to pocket $200,000 cash after it's all said and done. That's definitely enough down payment to buy that lovely condo down here, let's go. Make sense? One of the best questions you can ask, and this is not a script, but a conversation, I would ask them, Natasha, well, let me ask you, if you could have it any way you want to. You can stay here if you want for the next year or 10. Or you can have that lovely condo in Florida. You can have it any way you want to. What would you prefer? What would be the ideal scenario? What would you guys prefer? Where do you see yourself a year from now? Still stuck here or enjoying golf every day? And then pay attention to how they respond. And you will know where you stand. Because it is possible they're going to stay and never sell. But I can't even count how many listings I lost because I bought into their story simply because they bought into their story at the time. And yes, it may require some follow-up and some time. But why not? If you just keep feeding it, sooner or later they're going to start coming out here as listings in dollars. Cool?